Hello, my spiritual friends, and welcome to today's live stream. I'm Cynthia Clark, your spiritual abundance mentor, and today we are going to be talking about how to call in the Pleiadians. In case you don't know about the Pleiadians or you've never heard of them before, they are a benevolent extraterrestrial group who are assigned to Earth to assist us with our spiritual growth and development. So, I started working with the Pleiadians many years ago, actually, when I first started getting into energy healing. And it they didn't really talk to me back then, other than they just worked through me. But since I started doing automatic writing and I started going into meditation, and then I started writing down transmissions, they were the ones who came in and said that's who they were. I also channel different archangels, different spirit guides, just depending on the situation and the day. Sometimes I just see who wants to come in and talk to me. But the ET groups, we've got the Pleiadians, we've got the Arcturians, who have also come in and spoken with me. We've got the Andromedans, the Hathors. Maybe you've heard of some of these different ET groups. So they are you can think of them as like our spiritual parents. You know, they are more they operate in a higher dimensional realm. So if you think of us here in our third dimensional existence, they operate in a higher dimension, which is where we are all moving towards as we grow in our own spiritual development. So the Pleiadians are very chatty. And once you make contact with them and open up to them, they love to talk to you and assist you. And they've actually been working with me now for like I said, quite a number of years. But most recently, they've been helping me with my ability to help you in your abundance and to help you get to the next level of your spiritual growth and development. Today, I'm going to be sharing a transmission that I received on how to actually call them in. And I'm also going to share with you some information on if you're having trouble with it, or if you struggle with stuff like that in general. I'm going to have some advice for you to make it easier. All right. And by the way, if you missed last week's live stream, we did talk about releasing your shadow self last week, which was a lot of fun, to just like get rid of some junk. Right? We want to be in the light, and we want to be happy. So if you are um, if you're struggling with anything that feels like you're holding on to stuff, then I would recommend going to to last week's transmission. And next week, we're going to be talking about original sin and how to heal from original sin, which is it's a human based idea that has created a lot of stress in people's lives. So my guides came in and said that was important for us to heal from. So okay, so we've got some information. Okay, so first off, how do we call these? How do we call in these Pleiadians? How do we call in these benevolent beings? Now, remember too that your free will cannot be violated, right? So you have to invite assistance from the angels, from the archangels, from the Pleiadians. They're not just going to, you know, butt in and interfere with your life. They're not going to make decisions for you. They will always offer suggestions, and they will invite you to try things and then see what happens. So keep that in mind. Being here on earth, we do have free will, we have choice. And that is something that, um, you know, sometimes people are like, well, why don't they help me? Right? Why don't they help me? Well, it's like, well, did you invite them in? Did you ask for their assistance? This is something we have to be reminded of, because it opens up the dialogue. All right. And another thing that I like to use are crystals. And I want to share with you um, the crystal selenite. Okay. So, selenite is kind of a pretty sort of white, milky, whitish crystal. Here's an example of one. I've got actually a bunch of pieces here. Here's another one here. Really lovely crystals. And this one is called a fishtail selenite because it resembles a fish. So yeah, this is a fun little crystal. Very inexpensive. You can even do like this is a selenite knife, which can be used to cut energies away from your energetic and etheric field. So I personally love selenite, not only for its ability to cleanse and to release um, like stagnant or toxic energies that are built up. You can use it to cleanse all of your crystals, by the way. You can put, you know, your, if you have a collection of crystals, you can put the selenite next to it and it will help to clear it. It'll clear yourself. So it's really good for that. And it's also a way to connect with the Pleiadians. So if you go into meditation, I would recommend you get yourself a little piece of selenite and you hold it in your hand. Okay. And then you can really feel that energy. Okay. Another symbol that is a Pleiadian symbol is the blue rose. So I wore my roses today on my shirt, but I didn't have a blue rose shirt, so but picture them as blue. And yeah, that's the blue rose energy. So you can image a blue rose, you can place a blue rose in your heart. That's something that I also recommend. If you start to see blue roses too, by the way, that's a dead giveaway that you are definitely being greeted by the Pleiadians. Okay, so I love to get those signs from the universe, right? Okay, so here is an invocation, and this is the transmission that they gave to me. I'm just going to read it to you. It says, "Hello, Cynthia. We are with you, observing and guiding. Here is an invocation to call us in. Pleiadian Council of Light, I call you in, a welcome sight. Communicate and share your truth today so that I may relay what you have to say." Okay, so kind of like a little poem. You can use that to call them in. And then they said, "We are the Pleiadian Council of Light." And they put light in capital letters with periods afterwards, meaning that this is an acronym. Okay, so um, the acronym stands for Loving Illumination of God's Holographic Transmissions. We are part of you, and you are part of us. A hologram, a whole contained in the part, a pathway of divine energy to be expressed as a quote, individual. This is a challenging concept to understand. This is why we show you the image of the fractal, a repeating pattern that gets smaller and smaller for all eternity. You are a part of this pattern. You are part of the weaving of the cosmic tapestry of divine light. Okay, so if you're not familiar with fractals, I'm going to do a little pause here. I'm going to show you some images of some fractals. So, fractals are these repeating patterns they form these beautiful images, and they come alive when they're, animated. So, here's just some examples of fractals. And so these patterns exist in the universe and they exist in everything, including our own DNA. So looking at these and understanding fractals is a way to understand how the universe works and how we work within it. So, anyway, I hope you um, go look at some fractals. Okay, so that's what they were saying about the fractals. Okay, so the choices you make on Earth radiate out of this pattern to impact the entire universe. Okay, so isn't that interesting that everything we do radiates out like that fractal pattern? And it's sort of like the pond, right? You look at the pond water and you throw a stone into the pond, and then what happens is you have these circles that go around and around and around, and they spread out, right? Um, to all the way to the edge of the pond. So this is the sort of a similar concept. Okay. We would like you to understand the importance you all have and the power to reverberate love into the field. Okay, so this is a good thing to remember too. It's like sometimes we think, how can one person make a difference? How can one person be important? But we're all these little pebbles in the pond, right? We're all part of that tapestry. So, for now is a time of renewal, a time of rebirth, and a time of remembrance. It is time for you to remember the truth of your nature, your divine nature. It is time to drop the false identities of smallness, insignificance, helplessness. The time is now to remember your placement in the cosmic pattern of all that is. So then they're speaking to me directly. They said, Cynthia, you chose to come to Earth to help others with this remembrance. In the coming months, we will give you information that you may choose to write or speak about. You always have choice while you are in the earth plane. So again, they're reminding me that I have free will, and I don't have to do anything with the information that I receive. But I feel it is my duty to share some of this information with you because it can be helpful in your own abundance pathway. And you don't need to feel alone, right? We have so much help out there. I really want you to know that. Okay, so that you have invited us to speak is a grateful blessing, for we would very much like to share what we can with you and those who are ready to hear the truth. There are many still in the very convincing illusion of separation and agony of distress. And this is really where I feel for the planet. I feel the pain and the suffering and the stagnation. And it's very difficult, right? We want to get above that. So we will give you some protocols for you to do to assist in slowly cracking the shell. For if the shell is cracked too quickly, it can lead to further psychological or physical damage to the delicate human form. This is why we don't just appear and speak to everyone. There is too much risk and too many still who are trapped inside their created illusions. And then they took the word illusion and they broke it down into pieces. So I want to share this with you. I'm going to write this out so you can see. This is how they wrote it. So I want you to understand. Okay. So if we break down the word illusion, we get I lose one. Okay. So illusion. Okay. So they said this word translates into I lose connection with one. Okay. So it's interesting how language can be broken down. They do this with me a lot, in just understanding like where are things at. So we're in a bunch of illusions is essentially what they're saying. So it is important to begin to slowly reconnect For all who feel and realize this temporary disconnect can build an awareness of this temporary situation. Okay, so yeah, we're living in this earth experience, but this isn't all of who and what we are. We're these eternal, infinite beings of light, and we have a human vessel that we carry for a period of time, and we have a personality that we carry for a period of time, but we have a soul that is eternal. Okay, so they really wanted to remind us all of that. So what are the steps to reconnecting with the one? Okay, so this is the divine energy, the one energy. Some people call it God. Some people call it, source. Some people call it, the one infinite creator. Whatever you want to call it, is totally fine. But we have this energy, this divine energy that we're all a part of. Okay, so step one is to reject the lies you have believed to be true all your breathing days on earth, that you are alone or you are anything less than divine energy in an individual form. Okay, so that's a big statement right there. They're saying you have to remember you're not alone and you're divine. Okay. So, step two is to recognize this in all others too. Okay, that's a big one, right? We have so much division in the world right now. We have so much stress over this person or that person, or they're not like me, or if they're not exactly like me, I don't like them and I don't want to be around them. And how dare they? And, there's like all this judgment going around and all this like stress. Um, Boy, it's they're saying that this is really important, that we need to recognize the divine in everyone. And then we drop that illusion. We connect back to the one, right? This is where we're all heading, is back to that reconnection, and that we're all divine. Earth is a playground of choice, a way to experience the physical body and all of the sensations of time, space. An illusion of time moving only forward. Okay, so I've talked about this in other live streams where we talk about divine time and connecting back to that divine time. And what they're saying is that this is a playground. You know, you can think of it like a school or a playground or jail. However you want to think about it. The universe doesn't judge you for how you think about things. It only reflects back to you what you believe to be true, right? What you know to be true in your in your playground. So that's why some people have a lot of fun in their lives, and other people, feel like life is such a chore and so difficult. Okay, so but we are in a time space construct here on Earth, so we have a feeling that that time is only moving forward, that we only have so many hours in a day, and we've put it into this little box of 24 hours in a day. And it's like, okay, what can I do with this time? And so it's all just part of the earth experience. Okay, so as you reconnect with your true nature, you will realize that you can heal anything from any timeline, past or future. So the Pleiadians are saying that you can manipulate time. You can go into meditation. You can look at different timelines. You can get out of your time space construct in meditation. So I would encourage you to get your selenite. This is the advice for the week. Get yourself a piece of selenite. Go into meditation. Use that invocation. So let's go over it one more time. Pleiadian Council of Light, I call you in, a welcome sight. Communicate and share your truth today so that I may relay what you have to say. And then wait. wait for them to come in. And then you can also ask a question. You can say, how can I work with my timelines? Or what do I need to heal? What trauma needs to heal? Because the Pleiadians are experts at healing, and they can help you with your healing. They can help you with, they have that bigger perspective of the soul, and they have that bigger perspective of where are we all moving in this trajectory of ascension. All right. And they can help you with anything really that you want their help with. So this is the advice for this week. It's a beautiful message that they've given me. They've been teaching me about uh, dermatoglyphic epigenetics. So they've been teaching me about the hands, and because I do have a background in hand analysis for many, many years, I've been studying this. And so they've come in and they've shared with me that your fingerprints are portals. They've shared with me that you can open and activate these portals, and you can do this to really move forward in your life in any area that you're struggling in. So that's kind of my trajectory of where the Pleiadians have been taking me to share with you. So, if you're interested in learning more, I would encourage you to go to my website, ascension17.com. I do have some free abundance training that I am happy to share with you because, it's time. Now is the time for us to get moving forward in our pathways. And I want to see the suffering stop. I want to see you feel connected to the one. I want you to be abundant in every area of your life. So, for me, spiritual abundance is it's not just about money, but it is about money. It's about health. It's about feeling joyful in your day. It's about feeling purposeful, impacting the collective. It's about that playground of like, how can we play a little bit bigger in the whole pond of the world, right? Because that's what this is all about. And we're not small and insignificant. Okay? I really want you to know that and feel that from this Pleiadian message. They're so helpful, and they're so positive. So this is another way that you can really recognize that you're getting a good transmission is it's always going to be supportive. You're never going to get a message that is not supportive from the Pleiadians. Okay? So anyway, I hope it's helpful for you. It's a work in progress. You can give it a try. Let me know too in the chat if it's something that you um, like. If you get a message from the Pleiadians, or what messages have come through for you, or what have you learned, you know, or if you're struggling, maybe we could get another message from them to help you. All right. So that's this week's live stream. Thank you so much for being here. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you, and I want you to know and connect with your divine self, because that is who and what you truly are. You are very precious. You are very special. You are. You chose to be here, coming to Earth, but you also chose. You chose to your path, right? You chose your path that you're on. And I want you to honor that path. Okay. Honor that path and go forward authentically. So I hope to see you all next week for our original sin healing. And until next time, have a beautiful day.